Well, here we are on the very last lesson for Module 1. Doing pretty good. What you're going to see is on this curriculum that we use, the very last lesson of every single module is made up of just word problems. So it's many math problems all in one. And this definitely is a great example of that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go through and circle and underline and draw squares around, because based on the information that it gives me, I'm going to be doing different things based on the action words that it gives in here. A gardener installed 42 6/10 meters of fencing in a week. So I'm going to circle that because it's an important piece of information. It's an important number. He installed 13 45/100 meters, so we've got the number and the unit meters, on Monday, and then on Tuesday 9 5/10 of a meter was on Tuesday. These are all really important. He installed the rest of the fence in equal lengths on Wednesday through Friday. So what this is kind of telling us here is that this is going to be equal lengths, and how many of them will there be? There's going to be 3 equal lengths, because this is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and so all 3 of those are equal lengths. So that's pretty important. So what are the action words? What's happening here? It's installing. And installing what? Installing the rest. This one installed again in a whole week. So that's really important. And then here we've got the word install again. And this one came up Monday and Tuesday. So we can kind of make a timeline here, and that can help in a lot of ways. So here's the whole week. And we know that the whole week was 42 6/10, and I'm just going to put an M for meters. Oh, that's a sad M, isn't it? There we go. Make it a little better. And so in here, here's Monday. Monday, we can see that it was 13 45/100. And we can see on here that Tuesday was less than that, was 9 5/10. So the big question, though, that we kind of need to find out is how much is the rest of this? So that word, the rest, there you go. So let's see how much this came to first. So I'm going to switch colors because we're kind of moving on to the next section. So how much was this all together? So we're going to be combining these two, right? So if we have Monday of 13 45/100, and we're combining that with Tuesday, and because we've got hundredths going on, I can call it 50/100. 50/100. I'm throwing a 0 in there because I know that I'm going to have to keep my decimal lined up when I'm combining. And 5 and 0 is still 5. And I know that 5 and 4 is less than 5 and 5, so it's going to be a 9. And then I know over here 9 and 3, 10 and 3 is 13, so that must be 9 and 3, it's going to be a 12. And we carry. 1 and 1 is 2. So this combination right here, Monday and Tuesday, came to 22 95/100. And now we've got to figure out how much was the rest of that space. So I'm going to change colors, and now we're looking at this part right here. What's the rest? So we have to figure out what's the difference between these two. So if I can take the whole week of 42.6, 42 6/10, and we're going to be working with hundredths, so I'm going to go ahead and make it 60/100. doesn't change a thing. Remember that whole story that we could just add zeros all the way to China and we're still okay? We didn't really change the value of it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to subtract Monday and Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday was 22 and 95 hundredths. So if we take away Monday and Tuesday, that should leave us Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Let's do that. So I know I can't take 5 from nothing. That doesn't work. So I'm going to take one of these tenths and I'm going to turn it into 10 hundredths. And I know that 10 take away 5 leaves me with 5. You can also look at it the other way. 5 plus 5 would get you your 10. I can't take 9 away from 5 because 5 is smaller. So I'm going to borrow from this 1 that I'm taking and I'm going to turn it into 10 tenths. And I know that 9 plus 6 would get me 15. So 15 take away 9 would leave you with 6. Either way, you're good to go. Oh, shoot. I can't take 2 away from 1. I'm going to take a 10. I'm going to leave 3 10s here, and I'm going to take one of those 10s and turn it into 10 ones. 11, 10, 9. So we've got 9 in the ones place. The difference between 3 and 2 is really obvious, isn't it? So now I know that this right here is Monday, Wednesday, no, it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So right here, 19 and 65 hundredths is Wednesday through Friday. But here's the last question. How much was installed on those last 3 days? And we know, according to this, that they're equal lengths. So in order to divide this equally, we're going to go 3 goes into 19.65 and see what we get. I know that 3 times 6 gets me really close to 19. Not quite, but really close. I know that the difference between 18 and 19 is just 1. And now bring up that decimal and bring down your tenths. And I know that 3 times 5, 5 times 3 is 15. What's the difference? Again, it's a 1. How funny. And then we bring down what we've got in the hundredths place. And now we've got 15. And just like last time, 5 times 3 is 15 yet again. And this time there's no difference. So this is the answer right here. So add your M for 6 and 55 hundredths of a meter was installed those last 3 days. And that gives the answer. So this process of going through and making sure that you kind of figure out what are the pieces that are involved in your word problem. So circling your main pieces of data, squaring your action words, underlining the important factors. Equal lengths is pretty important, right? And then the last thing we do is going to be checking. So in order to check this, we're going to add the whole week together. And if we do add those parts, shouldn't we get this? Probably. So let's add Monday, Tuesday, which is 22 and 95 hundredths. Remember we found that one? Here's Monday, Tuesday. And then here's Wednesday through Friday at 19 and 65 hundredths. If we add that all together, that answer should match this right here. I know that 5 and 5, 10, carry. And I know 9 and 1 is 10. Plus 6 gets me 16. 9 and 1 is 10. Plus 2 gets me 12. Here's our decimal. And 1 and 1 is 2. And 2 more gets you 4. So it matches. So we found the right answer. So here's what I would like you to do for your homework tonight. I would like you to try this one but I don't want you to do it out loud. So do number 3. I'm going to circle it with someone. And you are the teacher. So you're going to borrow my shoes for a little bit. You're going to wear the teacher shoes. So here's what's going on with this one. You have a table and 8 chairs. Here's a table and 8 chairs. Here's your table. I'm going to label it table. Surprise, surprise. And then you've got 8 chairs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each one of these is a chair. And so all together, this whole thing weighs 235 pounds. Oh, and 68 hundredths of a pound. Label pound, because that's a piece of data. So we would circle that, right? If the table, here's the table, it's 157 and 84 hundredths. What is the weight of one chair? So you've got to find how much the chairs weigh, and then you've got to figure out how much just one of them weighs. That's your challenge. I've kind of already got it visually set up for you. Using, what's this called? Oh yeah! Tape diagram. Kind of cool. I really wish that I had been taught this when I was a kid, because I'm one of those visual learner types. So anyway, try that. See you tomorrow.